This is Yeji Kim from Hudson High School. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Yeji Around Town will continue through Zoom. My goal is to inform and enrich the Hudson community on the numerous shops and restaurants in Hudson. I will still be featuring many local businesses, so stay tuned and enjoy the show. This is Yeji Kim, a senior at Hudson High School, and today I am going to showcase the Hudson Visitor Center gift shop and Destination Hudson. The Hudson Visitor Center and gift shop is located in the downtown area, just besides the green on 27 East Main Street, and I am here with Liz Murphy, the Executive Director of Destination Hudson. So could you introduce yourself and explain what your role at the Hudson Visitor Center and gift shop is?
Sure. As Yeji just said, I'm Liz Murphy. I'm the Executive Director of Destination Hudson. What does that mean? Well, I'm the only paid employee, and then we have this wonderful cadre of dozens of volunteers who come and work in the visitor center and just really take care of everything. That's pretty much what it is. Destination Hudson is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it came about in 2009 because there were a group of merchants who had been planning events and trying to get bus tours to come. But basically, any small merchant is working at their business 24/7. And we realized that we needed a different organization. So a few merchants and some residents who wanted to get involved and representatives from WRA and the Hudson schools. Let's see if I missed anybody, the chamber and the city all got together and formed the first board of Destination Hudson. And we had grand plans, and I'm happy to say quite a few of them have come true. Our mission is to promote and protect the history and heritage of Hudson, but also look forward to the future and promote anything that's going to happen and preserve our heritage. And I will say that this particular year has been very different. The visitor center is the most obvious thing that we do, the most visible thing. So Destination Hudson is the organization. The visitor center and gift shop, for the most part, earns us money to keep ourselves open. We are more or less a 24/7 operation with a website and an outdoor brochure rack. So visitors or residents who want to know a little bit more about their town can come and get a brochure or see what we have for sale in the visitor center. And at least in the past, see what upcoming events there were. Mm-hmm. But this year is different because many events were obviously canceled. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what Destination Hudson has been doing as a result. We're working on this team called the Shop Local, Shop Hudson team, and it includes representatives from the city, the chamber, the merchants, and Destination Hudson. And our goal has been since March is to come up with ideas where people can be outside, safe, wearing their masks, but getting them to come downtown. A good example of that was the holiday walk. Usually it's one big Sunday and there's animals and horse and carriage rides, etc. So this year we spread it out because we're supposed to be spreading out. And we had 3 Sundays where we had live window displays downtown. And it was our first year, but everybody liked it so much, we think we're going to do live windows every year. I'll tell you a couple of things that are coming up if you'd like to know that we're working on. Right now, the Hudson Blanket Brigade. We're trying to encourage people, let them know, especially when it's sunny like it was yesterday. Might have been cold, but grab a blanket and go downtown. You can get yourself a Dora drink or some takeout, wrap yourself up in the blanket, and ideally you'll post it, hashtag Hudson Blanket Brigade, on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll spread this word that restaurants are still open and you can still enjoy the outside.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, those all sound like really, really fun events. To talk a little bit about the visitor center, again, could you explain the role of the visitor center in the community? Because when I typically think of a visitor center, it's a place to get maps or sort of as a rest stop in larger cities. Does this visitor center, do you think, have a role beyond that?
Well, that you've described pretty much what we do. We do have restrooms, public restrooms. We have maps and brochures, uh, both outside in our brochure rack and then lots more inside. Inside in our brochure rack, we have information about any Hudson business that wants to put their information there. We have information about our parks, about the schools, about the senior living facilities we have, about the city. So we try to be a good one-stop place where you can get anything you want to learn about Hudson.
Mhm. Yeah, the visitor center seems to be a place for new visitors and a good source for new families in Hudson. But I also think it's a good place for Hudson residents who are looking for special events or Hudson goodies. What do you think about
I agree. In the past, I mean, not this year is so different, but we used to have people who were having weddings come in and get 20 or 30 little sets of maps and brochures so they could hand it out to the people who were coming to the wedding, spending the night. And we have lots of gifts, almost anything you could want. We have t-shirts, we have a whole wall full of books. We work with Western Reserve Academy's Innovation Center and Hudson High School's Makerspace.
I
I
can
was
see
going
the
to show
puzzles
you.
and mugs behind you as well. Mhm.
Yes, we have mugs. These are Hillary Sheeter mugs right here. We have the farmers market mugs. And then let me see, which way do I have to move? Now you can see our Hudson mugs right there. I was just going to grab something.
Yeah. Mhm.
These, you can see the little mice. Oh,
Oh, the
wait, can
clock
you see the
tower.
mouse? There's the mouse right
Mhm. Yeah.
there. So the makerspace makes these little teeny wreaths and the little teeny mice
Mhm.
for us. And then Western Reserve Academy etches all the glasses that you can't quite see. They etch our cutting boards. We have all kinds of ornaments. We have postcards, really anything you could want, but we enjoy working with the schools. Any artist in Hudson who has created something can come in and we're happy to carry it if we can work out the right kind of deal. And our visitor center is for profit. We're trying to make a profit so we can stay open. Postcards, lots of postcards, greeting cards, books, as I said,
Yeah.
Afghans. Oh, and puzzles. Puzzles.
Mhm.
You can see behind me. We have about 5 or 6 different puzzles. Tricky to know which direction to move.
Mhm.
And very popular. I delivered a lot of those in the early months of the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of puzzles, and I've been doing a lot of them in quarantine. Mhm.
Yeah, and we still offer free delivery in Hudson. We'll do curbside pickup if people want to, but now that the holidays are over, it's not real busy and it's not scary in here. And usually I would have my mask on, but
Mhm.
it's a little harder to understand when you're talking with a mask.
Mhm. I know there's also a fire department museum attached to the visitor center gift shop. Could you explain what that is?
Sure. It was probably about 5 years ago that the city moved their offices out of here because they had gotten too big. So they put their notice out to all nonprofits saying, you could use this for not very much rent if you would like to, and if you have a good plan. So both the fire department and Destination Hudson grabbed at that opportunity and presented our ideas, and we decided we could work very well together. So off to my left is where the fire museum is. Sadly, they have not been open during the pandemic to the general public, but they will um, do a little tour for you, a little private tour if you call the fire department and ask. So we're looking forward to them being open again.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about what's located in the museum? What kinds of maybe artifacts are in there or
I'm not as good as one of the volunteer firemen would be, but there are three different very old fire engines that they rotate. There's two of them in there at all times. One of them is the hand pumper that was actually used to try and put out the fire in 1892 on Main Street, and it wasn't enough. And then there's a more modern one. Apparently the men at the fire department have been collecting memorabilia for years. Jerry Varnes, who's the fire chief, his father was also in the fire department. And so, there's lots and lots of memorabilia, pictures of different fires that they've put out. And people should come down and see it. They can peek through when they visit the visitor center, but we don't have the key to let anybody in, but they can see the fire engines.
yeah, wow. And what would you say is the overall goal of Destination Hudson and the Hudson Visitor Center and Gift Shop?
Our goal is to keep all the wonderful things about Hudson as they are, to move into the future, making the changes that are necessary, but working as we have been, especially this year with the different groups in town. One of the things that we really think is critical right now, as this COVID keeps going and going, is Hudson needs to become one again. We all need to work to support our little businesses, our restaurants. Um, we we keep hearing of more and more businesses that aren't going to reopen. Um, so we have plans. We're trying to get a social media campaign going where everybody, from the council people to the economic development board people and the chamber, all of us working together can be promoting the positive things about Hudson. Um, we have a couple more activities coming up. Uh, One is the ferry doors. I don't know if you know about the
I've
ferry
heard
doors
about those.
downtown.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
we had a little Halloween ferry door trick or treat, and now we're having a Valentine's one. So any child dressed at least partially in red who's wearing their mask can come in from the 7th to the 14th of February and get a little Valentine treat. So, oh, and also more than 80 businesses and organizations have come and picked up a snowman, a wooden plywood snowman. We're going to have a snowman display, and you get to vote for your favorite five, and we'll let people know who it is. But there's going to be 80 all over downtown. We think that'll bring people down to look at them. A lot of creativity there. But we're working to help where we can, um, right now, very particularly to keep our small businesses going.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to hear how much you guys were able to adjust in the light of, what is a very difficult situation. So I know on January 23rd, the annual chocolate walk is going to take place. So what exactly is that and what will it look like this year?
Well, we're very excited because it's really the first event that we've been able to have, and we're making some changes. It's our seventh annual one, and some of these chocolate walkers have come to every single one. We're extending the hours so that people will be spread out a little. Instead of handing out the passports, the maps, and the collection bags inside, we're going to have tables set up outside. We're going to have 3 different maps with 3 different starting places so people aren't all bunched up. And they take their passport, for which they have paid, and they go to 23 different spots, all walkable, including the Evaporator Works, Acme Plaza, and First and Main and Main Street. And they're given a piece of unusual chocolate. Some of the businesses get really adventuresome with their chocolate, and I know that One Red Door is going to have a chocolate martini in a little to-go container. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it brings close to 200 people to downtown Hudson. So they come rain or shine. Happily, it's going to be cold, so it won't be raining. It might be snowing. I'll just tell you a funny story. The first one, the very first annual chocolate walk, there was a blizzard. I mean, a true blizzard, where Summit County was saying, do not leave your house, stay at home. And everybody but 4 people came because they wanted their chocolate. So it's a good fundraiser for us. And yeah, we think it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah. I mean, events like, the chocolate walk, the fairy doors, and even like the upcoming blanket brigade. I think those are all really amazing events that bring Hudson together as one community.
Yes, yes, we think so too. We've been trying really hard to be creative and come up with some good ideas. And residents have been coming and talking to me and giving me suggestions. So that's good. The residents are concerned too, which we
Mhm.
love.
Yeah. How has the visitor center and gift shop in particular had to adjust because of COVID-19? I know you guys offer an online shopping option as well as delivery.
Yes, we closed to the public. The city closed the whole building. We closed to the public for, I think, 2 months. But in the meantime, I was doing deliveries. We were promoting our online sales, and hardly a day went by that I wasn't delivering. So that was good. Those jigsaws flew off the shelves. Um, we put up a plexiglass partition between the customers and the people checking people out. We've made the credit card. Uh, you insert it yourself. We don't have to touch the card, and there's hand sanitizer at both doors. We encourage everybody to use it before they start browsing, so that things are kept clean. We clean the bathrooms on a regular basis. So it's a matter of cleaning really now. And except on the very few days before Christmas, we don't have to worry about spacing because we never have that many people. Not that I wouldn't like to have that problem.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, all of that sounds really great and all the precautions you're taking as well.
Oh,
So,
yes. Well, many of us working here are in the danger category, above 65 and 70. So um, we wear our masks all the time, and people they never come in without a mask anymore.
yeah.
But we have masks to hand them in case they do.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that is the end of the interview portion of this episode. Thank you so much, Liz, for introducing me to the Visitor Center Gift Shop and Destination Hudson. I mean, I learned about events that I didn't even know existed in the first place. So that's really great.
Well, hopefully you'll follow Destination Hudson on Instagram and Facebook if you have Facebook, and then you can help share it.
For sure, I'll definitely keep up to date.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So stick around to see a tour of the shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.